Black history.
Black history, round two. Once again, Brother Tesla.
Islam.
Right? So I want to say big up to everybody who's missing it today because of the Super Bowl.
Straight up.
Where
they are.
Yeah, that too. People don't start till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Oh, really?
But you know,
Buy their liquor and buy their beer.
Pre-game, Janet Jackson movies and stuff.
Well, since we're talking all this homo stuff, they might not be looking at Janet Jackson. Who wants to watch a bunch of dudes bending over?
Oh, just a distraction. That's all it is. It's all just a distraction.
Alright,
alright.
Correct. We must correct black history. The black history is dead history. So first of all, Prophet needs you and everybody, whoever's looking on the screen, Prophet needs you too. So the idea is to proclaim your nationality, because nationality is the order of the day, been the order of the day, and a lot of people take it not as serious as they should take it. The purpose of Brother Tesba's presentation and myself today is part of the Moorish History Month Kill Black History series, where we're basically going to be killing black history, basically. And hopefully, you know, it picks up. Probably won't pick up because, you know, everybody loves to be black and Negro and colored, right? But it's going to pick up among those who are readers and thinkers and open-minded people, right? The Moors deal with things on a jurisprudence perspective. So jurisprudence is the science and the philosophy that treats positive law. So when Moors speak about, you know, they're not Negro, black, colored, it has nothing to do with us being against our people. It has nothing to do with us trying to ridicule slaves or to make people who are of a lower mind frame than us feel belittled, right? It's about recognizing that law governs all events. And if we're looking at things from a law perspective, we would clearly understand what the so-called enemy is doing to us. And in us finding that out, the only other thing that we can do is correct our position. So the objective is to correct all the negative things about accepting black history so that people could correct their position. Whether they do it or not after, that's up to them. But once you're told, ignorance is no excuse. And you can't use that I didn't know after you were told, right? Moorish Leader's Historical Message to America was a writing by Noah Drawley, where he said that we organized as the Moorish Temple of Science in the year 1925, and we're legally incorporated as a civic organization. Civics is the study of rights and responsibilities of a citizen. Right? So civics is the study of rights and the responsibility of a citizen. And that's what the perspective of the Moorish movement is. To get people to know about their rights, to get people to know about the law so they can be better citizens and not be corporate citizens or citizens that don't have the power to exercise certain things. So there was a convention called the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. The Vienna Convention on Consular Relations of 1963 is an international treaty that defines a framework for consular relations between independent countries. A consul normally operates out of an embassy in another country and performs two essential functions. One, protecting the host country, the interests of their countrymen, and two, furthering the commercial and economic relations between the two countries. While a consul is not a diplomat, they work out of the same premises, and under this treaty, they are afforded most of the same privileges, including a variation of diplomatic immunity called consular immunity. The treaty has been ratified by 173 countries. Now, Article 36 of the Convention, local authorities, now this is for the Moors, right? Article 36 of the Vienna Convention. Local authorities must notify all detained foreigners without delay of their right to have their consulate informed of their detention. At the request of the national, the authorities must then notify the consulate without delay, facilitate unfettered consular communication, and grant consular access to the detainee. Consuls are empowered to arrange for their nationals' legal representation and to provide a wide range of humanitarian and other assistance with the consent of the detainee. So everybody here is everybody probably saw the YouTube posts and all that with Taj when he got arrested, when he got picked up for all these tickets and all this stuff, right? And then they tried to hide him in the jail. So when they kidnapped him, what they did was they basically tried to bury him in the prison by not letting him get his mail, not letting him have visitors, basically violating the consular relations, right? What he had to do was he had to, at the request of the national, which Moors are, right? At the request of the national, the authorities must notify the consulate without delay, facilitate unfettered consular communication, and grant consular access to the detainee. Because that's what being part of the temple is about. Being part of the temple is, first of all, recognizing that there's an authority higher than the people that we think is the authority. So we always speak from the perspective of, well, it's like with the nationality paperwork and ID cards and all that type of stuff. The perspective that people come in with is that, okay, well, I have this paperwork, so now where do I go take it so it can be filed or whatever so that it's legit? Or do we have to get a notary to notarize this in order to give it legitimacy? Which defeats the purpose of you being a national. Because if you're a national, then the nation is who handles your affairs, not some corporate fiction. Whether it's called Ontario court or court clerk or county court or whatever they want to call the jurisdiction that's claiming to have the authority to say, okay, we can put a seal here, we can put a stamp on this, and now your stuff is, because we said that it's that, right? Which is why on the application forms, right, or the application / name correction forms, we have witnesses on there. And then more than likely, the witnesses that are on it are nationals, just like the person filling out the application, right? So when the local authorities do detain somebody, that person can demand that you need to contact my consulate.
Yes.
Instead of call my lawyer. I need my lawyer. Could you get my lawyer? No, call your consulate. Because that's what everybody else is going to do when they get kidnapped by somebody. That's like the Mexican national with Barack Obama, with during the same time of Troy Davis, right? Yeah. That Barack Obama, it wasn't the Mexican national that made the request. Barack Obama made the request on the Mexican national's behalf that his consulate didn't get notified that he's detained. And we can't do that because we're violating his constitutional right to have his consulate notified. They denied it, you know what I mean? It didn't go through, but the point is, why didn't he do that for Troy Davis? Because he can't, because he's not part of a consulate. Davis is slave that's owned by the Davis family. And they're not going to go to the Davis family and say, yeah, well, we have your family member. Because that's not the relationship that That's not the relationship that's going on, right? So, for Moors, there's a Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. Read that. Study that. Article 36. 6 and 3 is 9. 9 is the womb. The temple is that. The temple is the mother that's bringing forth all the nationals, right? When we start exercising on this level, on the consular, national level, not the we're citizens of Canada level, then we'll start to see things changing. When we start recognizing that, right, so dark green are the states that ratified the convention, and light green are the state signatories not yet ratified. So everybody's in on the Vienna Convention, except that little area right there, right? But everybody else is in on it. Everybody else knows what it is, but it's just like your rights. If you don't invoke it, it doesn't mean anything. It's just going to sit there, just like this Vienna Convention been sitting here since 1963. Vienna Convention on Consular Relations, sitting there. All these people, we are locked up. All these people locked up, right? They claim that they're whoever that they say that they are, which means that they have to have a nationality or something. Then how come you're not exercising the law that was put there in order for you to not be able to be detained and taken advantage of by people who are occupying lands that aren't theirs? That's what this is for, right? So, oh, you got a question or a comment?
No, yeah, where would our place be called? The temple? No.
Right. So when that's the idea. The temple would be the place that they call, right? So but the national has to make the request to them, and they're trapped. This is why just like we're talking about the mirror, right? Right hands up, and then the mirror left hands up, right? What they're gonna do is they're gonna say, when you ask for your consular call, I need to contact my consul, CONSUL. They're gonna tell you, okay, no problem, yeah, we'll let you notify your consul, COU. Right? Council and consul are two different bodies. And they want us to vibrate on the council level. Because once you vibrate on the council level, then you're giving them jurisdiction. Because the council, most of the time, is a lawyer, attorney, etc. Spy. Consul stands for himself, and he has a nation backing.
So we're basically out of our nation.
And this is why so we set ourselves up, right? We set ourselves up.
But we need more.
Yeah. No pun intended. Right? So Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution of this great republic validates, now remember, everything that the Constitution stands for, everybody else everybody else that has allegiance to the Constitution, they're going to stand for it too. So before the Vienna Convention, the Constitution was talking about this relationship between consuls and